Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, we are back again. Apologies for that swift restart. We are all good to go. I have invited both Madrid and its Tyrese, and we will be seeing the action.
I need to go out into the streets.
What? Edison? I'm getting rid of it.
Critic.
And he got like fucking 88 position.
Who are them people arguing?
No, it's quite low, like 82.
Yeah. Which one?
Someone just scored.
Why?
Liverpool just scored a header from the, you know, the D at the edge.
What, whilst the keeper was in the net?
Yeah, it was a free kick from like...
There's me. That's just so you guys know I'm all good to go. You two can start on you, Ty. I just need to spectate.
Thank you.
You'll win, Ty, I know.
Nah, I'm gonna lose.
What are you going to with that attitude?
Sorry, I had to leave Popeye just...
Yeah, it's sort of,
Are you good official?
No?
Go on, Aguero.
Yeah, I was actually... I just want to be happy, that's all. That's all it is.
look at that, dude. We're all here.
Oh, what is it? Is that just crime Leviathan?
It's well on.
Coconut.
What did you just call him?
Yeah, so again, apologies for that slight technical hiccups, ladies and gentlemen. We are back.
Playlist. My playlist.
It did show Madrid is here, so he's in the session, he's in his apartment, I believe, so it doesn't show him in the main lobby. Ty sucking us in to the playlist. Let me have a quick look at the tracks.
The tracks are Rally. What I pick Rally.
One second, let me get my notepad up. Rally.
I forgot my own tracks. Maze Bank.
Maze.
In the City.
Yeah.
And Trench 2.
Two. Ty.
And he picked East Coast.
East.
Racing Alley.
Racing.
Big Drop.
Big.
And Splits.
Splits. Picks.
Let me just put a good look to him.
I'll put the gear boats. So here we are starting with Rally. This is a Tyrese pick. run
Oh
through
god, this is
the
not good.
chat.
I'm not ready just yet.
We have Ventura. Hello, my man. Hope you're doing very well.
Let's just let the time run out.
Just gonna let it. Yep, 200 subs, and Holy, we will be starting to do some subscriber stuff again. I'd need to have just a little thought about how I'd like to make it a touch different, or a couple of different things from last time as well thrown in on top. But we'll be hitting off with that at least, I'd say, next weekend, and then over the next couple of weekends, with the time being a bit off with the 1v1s, so I couldn't put as much into it this time. Thank you very much, and I'm doing very well, thank you, my man. No, it's not going to be that different. There's a £50 giveaway for the racing. Like, that's pretty different already. Like, I'm not made of money. In fact, my money, the made of money I am, is falling away quite rapidly because of lockdown.
And FIFA points, isn't it?
Well, no, I do limit myself to my budget, my monthly budget, really well. So even with the FIFA points I bought this month, I didn't exceed my monthly budget.
Luke's been buying lots of FIFA points, haven't you? Little body boy.
Not that many.
But we will be doing a commentated full playlist. I'll be running it through until after the GOAT.
Right.
Well, maybe we can use that as the starting thing. Sort of thing, a bit of a subscriber special, maybe a playlist after that. We are going to start with Madrid in second place. Red and yellow on the car. Tide just edging away, clipping the curb, a touch more aggressive. Pulling up the hill, flipping over the curbs. FER is the license plate. We will be doing some contact playlists again, a few face-to-face stuff, and there will also hopefully be, should I be able to work it out, a little bit from the Cunning Stunters on PC in a commentated lobby too. I know I do have some PC subscribers. It's about time, as I have mentioned before. Head on over, do a little bit there from time to time too. Ty holding the lead, nice and strong, just pulling away. Madrid pulling to the left, going between two bushes, nice and clean, clipping the bumps on the way down the hill. Fox through the corner, clipping the curb, really nice at the apex, tidy as you like. Over the curbs, pulls through, had to readjust tight, just able to edge away a touch further, having caught it a little bit cleaner at the peak of the jump as Madrid goes over the crest. Little tiny brick landing, it sounded like on Ty's car. It was a heavy crash. Keeping the traction really nice and tidy through the hairpins. Both have played it safe, avoided.
Oh, what the hell? Oh my god.
Wall rides. Oh, Madrid with a bit of a dodgy entrance into it too. Both have a slight nightmare there. The gap remains in Ty's favour, but it has shortened up. Madrid a little wide, hands it back. Ty's way, we will flick on. The dirt is going to stop us seeing Tyrese. Comes through, clips the tube, nice and tidy. Catches the braking point. Lovely and clean. Oh, brushes the sign. Oh, Ty takes that a little tight. Tidy.
Oh my god.
Was just avoiding the poles. And that has allowed Madrid to come back through as the back end clips the last. Spinning Tyrese out, back up to speed. Madrid slightly ahead.
I missed the
Ties
checkpoint, what
missed
the
the
hell?
checkpoint, cuts it a little bit too fine. Now, any major issues, Madrid uses the ball to straighten himself up and into the barrier ride. Nice and clean. Does see it go 1-0 Madrid's way. Ty did get very unlucky missing that checkpoint, just cut it a little bit too thin. Just ran a little bit too wide and caught the back end of the car on one of the poles. Did look like it was going to make it through nice and clean. Madrid punished a mistake. Hate the race win. Good luck, racers, from Max Wine and Weed. Hope you're doing very well, fella.
I should have won that, man. I should have.
3:17.5 from Madrid. And you can hear Ty a little bit disappointed. Feels he had that one. Just maybe pushed a touch too hard at the wrong point. We are on. Big drop, I believe. Yep. That with Tyrese. It's a good start, pulls a level early on, better on the boost than Madrid, gets good brake boosting down this right side, but Madrid getting them on the right side, slightly stronger brake boost on the right side, on the left side of the track, the right side tyres. Ty got good loop boost, chased the brake boost, not 100% sure he got all of it, but Madrid maybe broke a little bit heavier. He's going to get to the track a little earlier, but speed and momentum carried by Ty sees him holding good pace. Both over the curbs, a little slide after the brake boost from Tyrese. Corrected it nice and clean. Aggressive over the curbs, trying to extend the width of the corner to allow himself through and carry the most amount of speed towards the exit. Just being nice and clean, just holding ahead.
Been mugged off twice in this game. Young AI has scored an overhead kick where I just scooped the ball up and volleyed it. What is this, man? It's difficult.
What level are you putting on?
Nice. Over. Oh, that hurt.
Jesus. Wait, what did he cash out at?
With a good landing, just edging away. Ty did get the cut a little bit lower. Madrid getting the car up to speed really quick. Coming down the hill again with Paul. Camera, you can see Ty did look like he was going to chase that corner just a touch. Clip across. Maybe felt he couldn't get the car angle back across to put himself over the gap. Lovely brake boosting again from Ty. Madrid must be getting some over on this left side of the track though, because he's holding a distance. Ty catching that one through the corner, little slide on entry, corrected it nice and quick, applying the pressure to Madrid. You can see the gap has shortened up a touch. A lovely brake boost again and again.
I slowed down too much.
Oh, you've made that nice. Undercut Madrid by quite a way, and that is going to allow higher revs heading in to the penultimate loop. Madrid needs to catch good boost to edge away again. Ty edges onto the first boost nicely, limiting any chance of that wobble. Little tap of the horn where it's safe to do so in the air. Madrid gets good landing boost again though, and just edges ahead.
What kind of boost does he get off a landing, man?
Right, nice and aggressive through the loop, really gaining good speed down the hill. Carries the speed nicely to the checkpoint and does take it to 2-0. GG's guys, that was a top race. Madrid held his nerve, taking the early lead. Ty did put in a really good drive to close the gap back up, take the lead momentarily, or about to, bar that really good landing boost from Madrid. To 47.321 from Madrid, 48.066 from Tyrese. Has seen it go 2-0 to Madrid. We are in the trench 2. Second here of Tyrese's pits. Just waiting for the track to load in, taking a little moment there. We'll sit with Madrid, the red and yellow on the cleek. Signature colours. Smooth over the curbs, early from both. Ty with the brake boost, pulls away a little bit, and again just edging away towards the loop, the tube, sorry. Rough entrance into it though, does seem lose some time. No worries, man. The cabs. If it happens again, just race, man.
My TV's loud for some reason.
Yeah, bless you. Comes through a corner. Tide does seem to have closed the gap back up a bit. Madrid went for the final brake boost there rather than rocking across a couple of times. He's making sure he lined it up nice and clean for that strong brake boost. This is the first two. No, he doesn't even really attempt them, maybe not knowing the location of them comfortably enough. Comes up
I
to the
just
cut.
bricked and going, oh my god.
Clean.
It's so BS. I bricked going into that thing.
Into the tube.
Yeah. Do you know what you did earlier?
Yeah.
Same thing. I was catching him as well.
Really cranking up the pace again. The 103.313 was the best lap, down to a 1.872. Fine. 6 seconds between them. See Madrid just approaching the tube. Tide catches the brake boost good and clean over the curbs. Into the tube, clean this time, pulls down for the exit.
I don't know what my landing is. I don't have a clue what my landing
He
is.
wasn't able to get the traction to pull in clean. The car just kicking up a little bit too much. The car down, chasing and catching the brake boosts. Three in the favour of Madrid.
Britain's the worst.
And you have, like, not making any excuses for your time, but you have been very busy with school. You realise you've not got a lot of time, so you've maybe tried to squeeze it in this weekend in case you've not got the time next weekend. Right, basically, as well. So you've rushed yourself into it a touch, so don't let it get to you too bad, man. Like, we do know when you are on form, you're a very quick lad. And you're not letting any of us down. So don't worry about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Settle into it. Deep breath. You see what happens. Hey, new boys. It is 3-0 in Madrid's favour. Taking the strong early lead as we approach the halfway point.
So I have to win all these next tracks, basically.
Yeah, to win.
Great. Gonna have fun here then.
Little hints of yellow on the arches. It goes to the right side curb. Tight, a bit more aggressive. Did clip at the crane just a touch, but only on the side. Getting good revs down the straight, has just edged a little further into the lead. Madrid though, nice and aggressive over the curbs. Uses that touch of time through the tube line. Tight, catching good boost. Madrid early onto the curbs. Tight, catching late bit at the back end, but Madrid just shortening it up a little slide into the corner. Tight, taking that little kinky corner a little bit tighter, just maintains, edges away an inch or two again of the curbs through the tube to tube cut. Tight, a little bit higher and safer than Madrid. It does appear to have adjusted, so you go to the left side tube wall now and try to pull down onto the blue, maintaining the drive of the club. See Madrid laying on the back tyres, touchdown first, trying to create that curb boosting effect where he can. Closing up through the tube. Later on the brakes, the curved barrier, knows he has to be careful with it, so he had to go really heavy on the brakes to make sure he got the car into shape for it. That has allowed Ty just to inch away that touch again. Ooh, the tube line, the back wheels did look like they got a slight disconnect. Ty out the tube. Clean. Madrid carrying a lot of pace, trying to close the gap back up. Just nice and smooth, catching a lot of curb. Ty appears to have adjusted to the line I just mentioned mid-race. As well, he went for the line I've seen now from Nacho and Zombie, the likes.
Oh, suck out, come on, man.
Oh, Madrid's got it a little bit worse. Both of them just running a little bit wide on the corner, having to readjust. Madrid, though, caught the suspension at a really awkward angle with the two wheels being off the side of the ramp. We are going to head over to Tyrese. Maybe feeling just a touch like he's ridden his luck there, both making a collision with the suspension of the bridge. We've seen a 1:30.897 on the first lap there from Tyrese and the 1:31.7 from Madrid. So it's going to be around the second plus the error. Ty just misses that tyre wall, pulls through. The curbs, maintaining the nice high revs into the tube, clips again, puts in and then down, nice and smooth onto the blue. Nice and smooth over the curbs. Just start making sure he's got much room between him and that suspension on the bridge. Down and through. They'll be on for some improvement here. I believe a little slide corrected that really nice and quick. Ty is just going to hold up. We'll pop back to Madrid. I don't believe the gap too much. Across you go. We'll see Ty's improvement. It shortens, but that brings it back to 3-1. Still in Madrid's favour. The tie now on the board, having taken a race back from Madrid. And now knows it really just needs to win his own two, potentially take one of Madrid's. Tie it up. 1:27 there from Madrid, really nice. I know you would have seen some good improvement there from Ty besides the weight. Good look at racers from New Boys. At the beginning of the race, apologies. Do try and focus in to the racing. And we are in to Maze Bank. This is one of Tyrese's picks. We still
I
have
don't mind drawing.
in the city to come. We also have East Coast and a Racing Alley. You could hear Ty saying there he wouldn't say no to a tie at this point. Ty, nice and aggressive early over the curbs. Extra little clip of it just before the tube as well, just sees him into the lead. Oh, he just clipped the outside barrier there. He won't have lost too much time straightening up the hill. He will sit with Madrid for just another minute. Let Tyrese have this next tube to sort. Head out, coming through the boost line, nice and smooth, trying to stick a good angle below the line. Nice dab of the brakes. Extends it quite long. Needs the extra touch of the brakes to make sure the barrier wreaks no havoc. Heavy on the brakes into the corner. We will now head back. Gap shortened up a touch, as I said. Lovely off the overpass smash. Line low to high in through the tubes. Yeah, just easing back Tyrese's way, smooth through the cut. Sticks to this left side. Madrid stayed on the right. Really nice tube to tube, just edged away a little bit through the transition. Nice through the corner from both. Ty up to speed. Madrid just keeps it nice and straight down the middle. Ty chasing the curbs, just edges into the lead. Slightly better braking point from Ty allows him to just extend away a touch. Clean exit this time. Should see him avoid that barrier as he pulls in through the braking point here. Up the hill, just over the crest, Ty swings to the left, just easing away. Oh, Madrid's nose did just clip into the tube and cause a bit of a bricking effect. Ty was pulling away, did hold the lead. Yeah, a little bit of an extended feathering of the throttle round the corner.
Oh god.
Runs a little wide into the barrier, but corrects it nice and smooth. Through the tube line. Clean as you like. Clipping the boost in nice and smooth, just lifting the nose up away from the tube ever so slightly. The car gently tilt the way it wants through the cut. Drops off onto the road. See Madrid already having come through the tube set himself, about to swing through, double left, a little straight in between. Ty though, good and aggressive over the curbs. Nice on the brakes, into the corner, making sure no issue with the tube. Lines up the cut again, make sure he's far enough away from the curbs to do the line he liked onto the braking point. We've seen a 152.178. 155.033, I believe, will have been from the first lap. The right tube entrance tried to play up a little bit there on the front left. There is a bit of damage showing. Nice braking point again, shortening the air time, making sure he gets down cleanly for the corner. Maintaining and holding the pressure well. You can see ever so lightly extended out. That overpass smash, not playing particularly kind there, will allow Madrid to shorten up. May apply a bit of extra damage. Time may have to be a touch safer through tube to tube. He does seem to be clipping in a little bit more here and there. He's got through one of the risky points. There's this one here too. It's good and clean. He tipped the car so it was nice and straight. There's just one more here really. He's good. He's down nice and smooth. Just coming round the first of the final two corners. Ty is going to be able to cross the line.
That was actually a good race.
Through clean. 152.178 to 542.142 from Ty. Does bring it back to 3-2.
That first lap when I come back, that was good.
Yeah, and you were edging away when he had the rough entrance into the tube and stuff, so I don't think there would be any issue with that. Thumbs up from Madrid. Appears that he agrees. Let's have a look at the message. Very from Crow. Not my interest tonight. Well, we've got the 1v1 going on. We are on to East Coast. We have 3 tracks remaining, and it is 3-2. Madrid needs just the 1 to confirm the draw. Tie does still need the 2. We have East Coast Racing Alley from Madrid. Tyrese is in the city still to come. Ty did appear to get a slightly better start and just inch away off the line, but Madrid catching a little extra curb, nice and smooth into the tube, just edging back and pulling into the lead. Will stick at least through the first couple of corners. Ty has to brake heavily to make sure he doesn't end up going up to the right, but he managed to pull sharp enough back so he didn't go off like he thought. Has lost some time, but not too much. Did look like Madrid maybe feathered just a touch into the corner. Maybe seen the car buck up. Pulls through the tube line, nice and clean. Madrid through the loop as Ty exits the tube. Lovely brake boost on the exit. Bit of a slide, just a touch more feathering of throttle required there, and get that nice and clean. With the jump through the corner. Madrid pushing it nice and hard.
Why am I getting water there for?
Just a touch to the left and shortens the air time out. Tide goes into the wall ride. He's pulled out a touch late. We are going to flick across to Madrid. Tide feeling like he needed to gain that time back. And apply a touch of pressure to Madrid. Nice. Final tube line there, just letting the car drift down tube wall, collecting all of the bumps he can. Madrid across the line with a first lap 206.756. Little bit of oversteer initially into the corner, corrected it nice and quick. The shape of the car adjusted, heading through the loop. Just the car at the crest of the jump, pulled it back to the right ever so slightly, shape right to the corner again, feathering the throttle through the corner. That's in the checkpoint, nice and clean, heavy on the accelerator, through the corner, and then a touch of feathering. Comes through the gap. As Ty came to the line, it was around 13 seconds, just over 12. We'll see how that plays out. Nice and smooth through the loop all day. Displayed a little bit roughly to us. Madrid goes in for the ramp skip there. He does clip the tube. That is going to allow the gap to shorten a little bit naturally. Madrid feeling like he needed to gain a little bit of time extra somewhere, and took one of the cuts. Just getting the line slightly wrong. We could see Ty coming out of the tube there. Madrid coming up the hill. Into the tube line, nice and clean. Pulls around just to miss the wall. Feathers the throttle as he goes over the jump, making sure no issue with clipping the roof. Comes around and through 206, likely to be improved, I believe. It's looked like a nice clean lap from Madrid. No, oh no, there was the slight mistake on the cut, which will have shredded that time off. 204.592 from Tyree, shortening the gap by a few seconds at least. Madrid clearly caught the brake boost there on that occasion, flew a long way just for the jump, feathers the throttle at the crest, making sure he gets down nice and early for the corner, gets it all lined up nice and smooth. You can see that gap is shortening. Ty in the air already. Through the corner, it was clean, on the track and coming up the hill. Through the loop, heavy on the brakes, making sure he gets around the corner nice and clean. Into the skip, nice and clean on this occasion. Does gain that few tenths he can as he gets quicker contact with the tube. You can see just pushing Tyrese back to coming out the tube as he comes up the crest of the hill. Nice, into the tube, smooth, doesn't need as much readjustment to get out of the way of the wall. We'll pop back, have a little look. That Tyrese is going, but it sounded like with the side, maybe a second to last wall ride, not playing nice before the tube. 204 does state the best lap. It was a clean wall ride, unfortunately did just miss the checkpoint. It's going to drive back for it. Handbrake is snapping itself around. 204.592 does stay the best lap. Madrid maybe did have a chance to shorten it or improve it, but did show sportsmanship to wait up.
Need to win the next two.
Yeah, it is 4-2 in Fmadridg's favour. And we head in to the final two tracks. I am just very, very quickly going into the toilet. And it looks as though Tyres had extended the time for me. We are in the city, and as Ty did state, he does need to win the next two to tie.
This is going to be hard. This is going to be hard.
Madrid on the line, honk the horn from both. Appreciating a battle. Again, did get good boost away. Madrid being on the better side of the track, able to get on the curbs earlier. Ty catching a couple of aggressive curbs. Later on the straight, just edges into the lead. Nice, a smooth cut from both. Ty down to the track a little bit faster. Taking the riskier exit, pulled down just a touch sharper but carried his speed. Both through the transition cut, nice and clean, avoiding the jump. Madrid is just losing a touch of time to Tyrese's aggression over the curbs. Ty maybe already eked out a 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds advantage. Madrid, very risky approach into the tube, has made a big contact with it. That is going to hand a big lead here to Tyrese. Ty is now able to play it a touch safer drive within his abilities. Get himself through the cuts a little bit cleaner and safer rather than all out risk to gain time. We will sit with Ty, keep that YouTube pressure upon him though. Gets it nice and clean out of the tube, clipping curb apex nice and tidy. Is my chat frozen? No, all good. Coming through just over the metal line, back down, nice and sharp, collecting as much speed as you can as he comes towards the exit of the tube. Points the nose down, getting the good traction over cab. Lines up nice and tidy, rubbing the left side over the curbs, good and aggressive still. Just trying to inch away where he knows he can. We've seen 2:15.001. It's one of the closest to an actual flat time we've ever seen without it being flat. That tiny little kink in it. Ty gets ever so slightly hung up on a couple of the gaps in the barrier, but keeps the engine revs high. Madrid just straightening up and about to line up for the cut himself. Looks like he got a bit hung up in it himself. The car appeared to just stop on the map.
Oh no,
just gone underneath the jump. Okay, Ty there saying it's gonna have to do it safe. You can see the front left displaying quite a bit of damage. That can sometimes wreak a bit of havoc on these tubes. It just lines it up nice and clean, a little bit higher than you'd maybe go on the hot lapping sessions. Just making sure he holds the lead.
My flipping tube X was so good as well, man.
Nice and tidy, just edging to the edge of the curb. No, good. Comes through nice and clean over the curbs. Just edging up above that metal line, back down, drifting over and above. Again, tap of the brakes into the corner, himself around, nice and clean. Maybe on for some improvement here. There was 9.5 seconds between the two of them. Time hasn't come down. Come down, sorry. A little voice break there. Madrid does come down to a 2:16.269. Depending how much time was off that time, could have seen some shortening. Got a lovely tube exit out of it, nice and clean. No issue with the spinner. Into the tube cut, nice and clean as well. Misses all the gaps in the barrier. Little feathering of the throttle as he reached the apex of the corner, just to give the traction to pull himself around past the barrier. Clipping the curb at the anti-apex, and then at the apex just pulls the car into line to get onto the left wall. Pulls himself down for the exit. Heavy on the brakes, 2:15.001 is the best lap. Clipping the curb, pulling through the line, and tube to tube. Pulls up left wall, back down to the right, trying to hug the thickest boost line he knows of. Collecting a lot of EQ, the engine roaring, pulling through the corner, clips the corner of the boost too. Really maximising the speed. Catching a mild brake boost there we did see, and a bigger one there. We saw a full tyre mark coming out of the back. Lovely line through the tube, up high, back down and low for the exit. Extra dab of the brakes to make sure he's round the corner good and clean. We will head over to Madrid. Is Ty able to just safely navigate the poles? Madrid coming through the checkpoint. Ty will be able to cross. Hear that feathering of the throttle as he brushed the bridge. That has brought it 4-3 as we head into the final race of the playlist.
Got to win this one race. Hey, Lee, do you want my controller?
Ty says,
Oh good, mate. You'll do
Come on,
it.
man, it's racing alley.
he does need to win this race, but he's put in a phenomenal drive to bring it back. After losing the first three, he's brought it back to 4-3, with the final race still to go. Only allowing Madrid to take one race since is no mean
If you can
feat.
play it safe. Come on.
We are racing alley.
Racing alley.
You boys with
Go for the
GG
last call.
appreciating the battle. Like I say, you know, like I was fearing a little bit for my friend here, Tyrese. Did sound a little bit nervous, but he's knuckled in, pulled it back, and really cranked the pressure up on Madrid. Madrid does have that slight comfort, knowing it's already tied, guaranteed a penalty shootout. Worst case scenario. Now let's just see how the guys go under their different pressures. Settle in. Madrid takes the cut slightly earlier, just making sure it doesn't buck up over the curb, but that has allowed Tyrese to just pull away early. Have a couple of seconds lead as he enters the tube. We'll pop over to Ty as he has moved out of view through the tube, the cut being in the way. It's through the corner, feathering the throttle to make sure he's round it nice and tidy. Madrid appears to have shortened the gap up somewhat coming through the cut. Looks like he did maybe take the wall ride himself. But he's had an issue with one of the spinners, I believe, or was that the loop in the tube? The gap has shortened up. We are going to pop back to Madrid. Yeah, no worries, Ross, and hopefully catch you soon, fella.
Soon, Ross.
comes through the tube.
I failed the cut, man.
On ties undercut it. Has to respawn. Does now require potentially the mistake from Madrid. It will be quite a lot of time to make up. Little feathering of the throttle to make sure he can pull himself cleanly around the stop strips. Gets himself down nice and clean onto the grey platform. And the car nicely into line to require very little adjustment between the pins.
Yeah, he's won this.
Takes the cut nice and smooth, clips the boost. See the tyre just coming down the straight opposite. Parallel. Comes through nice and clean. Madrid takes that line really close to that green wall. Takes it any closer, there will be a collision. Nice clean on the braking points and lines the car up for the corners, nice and smooth. Getting into line, clean as you like, through the loop. Did appear to lose some of the engine revs at the bottom of the loop, feathering the throttle and pulls up and over the cut. The engine revs burst back into life, catching the brake boost. The top of the straight just rubs two tyres over the curb and pulls sharp to the right, feathering the throttle so you can adjust back to the left. Takes that cut nice and smooth. See whether that gap did shorten up where he is on the straight. It did shorten up the gap a little bit too much. The one at 35.890 was the best lap. 137.131 tight first lap. Since the mistake been good and clean. Did shorten the gap up. Entering the tube as Madrid comes over the crest of the hill. Oh, I did think for a second he was going to run wide of the tube, but he corrected that nicely. Feathers the throttle, gets up and over. It's a clean cut. We'll pop back to Tyrese. Madrid, I'm assuming, will have a light feathering up. Ty gets it nice and clean on this occasion, catching some of the brake boost. And again, you can hear the squeal of the tyres. Madrid has crossed the line. That has seen it go 5-3 Madrid's way. We'll be offering out my congratulations to Madrid. Tyrese, my man, commiserations this time, my dude. But don't let it get to you too much. That was a good drive. Madrid is a tough opponent. You knew you weren't in for light work. And Madrid's next opponent will be Randos or Leo Gio. In the losers bracket, Tyrese, for this time you are out, unfortunately, my dude, but I'm sure we will be seeing you again. Are you taking part? You are taking part in the World Championships and stuff hosted by Bish, aren't you, as well? And I have started conversations with Don. I've planted the seeds in a lot of the commissioners' heads that go, so we'll hopefully have a crew battle coming up sometime around Christmas to keep us interested, and also be planning out a 2v2 or a 3v3 style competition for over the festive period while we've got some time to fit it in. Nice Madrid, GG Ty, and thanks Fox. New boys, as you always know, it is my privilege with the double stream from today. I will be drawing this one quite swiftly to a close, but tomorrow, I believe sometime around 6:30 PM, we have Nacho v Crazy Cracker, and then I'll let you know as any other matches are arranged and booked in. Thank you all very much for watching and coming by, and I will see you all in the next stream. Goodbye!